Adrian, how did you learn that you were the starting quarterback?
Yeah, I got called up by Coach Verduzco, told me to meet him on Saturday, late Saturday, and I drove over on my scooter, and I met with him, and he told me I was the starting quarterback. So it was pretty special feeling.
Expected to get that, or what?
What's that?
What did you think he was going to tell you?
I think in my own mind, I felt that I was the starter. I thought I had earned it, and I'd been working hard for it, obviously. But I wasn't entirely sure. I walked in there. He's pretty quiet, and I was like, I don't know if this is a good sign. And then, obviously, it turned out to be good.
Why did you think you won the job? What in camp told you I would do this?
I really just, spilled my guts for it. Obviously Tristan did the same, but I was confident in my ability. I believe that if you don't believe in yourself, I don't think anyone will. I think if you asked Tristan, he'd say the same thing. He thought he would be the starter. But I worked hard, and, I learned this offense the best I can, now I'm ready to get after it.
Adrian, they've never had a true freshman start at quarterback at Nebraska in an opener. Given that you haven't played since your junior year of high school and you went through the battle you did, has kind of the magnitude of all that hit you yet?
Obviously it's an honor to be the starting quarterback at this university, and I don't really feel that type of pressure in a sense that I haven't played since my junior year. I've been practicing since spring. I think I'm used to that speed. I don't think it's going to feel foreign to me out there. I feel like that doesn't really have real significance in my mind.
Hey, Adrian, was there a turning point in camp where you felt it was kind of going your way, or even just as a player, you're like, okay, I'm getting what they want me to get here?
I really wasn't trying to evaluate it myself. I knew in my mind, if I took care of business, if I was getting better with each day, I thought I'd be the starter. And I felt like I was getting better and better with each day. I thought it was getting easier for me. I thought my arm was getting better and better. I thought it was looking good for me, and obviously, I think I was right.
When you got to Nebraska in January, how much did you think about this day, knowing that it was a possibility that you could win this job as a true freshman?
Yeah, obviously, that was the plan in my mind. I wanted to be the starter. I wanted to work for it. I didn't necessarily know, what it was gonna take at first. But it's kind of crazy that we're at that point now. I'm the starter, and week one is a few days away.
I know you have a friendship with Tristan that you've developed. I mean, what do you tell a friend who obviously wanted the same thing you wanted?
Yeah, it's tough because it could have went either way. I'd be very disappointed if it was vice versa. So I think we had that sympathy for each other. He congratulated me, and I think we're two men, and we competed really hard. So we understand both sides of it, and we're gonna continue having that friendship.
Just the human element of finding out the news you did on Saturday night. Are you back on Earth yet, or are you still up in the clouds?
It was kind of funny you said that. I feel like I should have been happier than I was. I was ecstatic. I called my dad and my family, but it's like almost 5 minutes later, I was already thinking about Akron. I want to win. When we win, that's when I'll be on cloud nine for that. I think the mission hasn't been accomplished yet in my mind.
So you guys had a student practice against Saturday evening. Did Mario call you before or after?
I knew before that practice. I think we both knew before that practice.
How do you handle just the spotlight now, the social media, the talk radio, everything that's going to come with being in this spot potentially now for the next 4 years?
Yeah, that's a good question. I feel like my family and my coaches and my teammates have always kind of kept me grounded, but it's obviously going to be a new experience for me. Fresno, California isn't Lincoln, Nebraska, starting quarterback for the Huskers. But I think we're going to adjust on the fly, and things are going to go well.
What do you think the feeling will be like when you come out the tunnel before 90,000 fans on Saturday? What do you think the feeling will be like?
I try not to think about that because I want to get some sleep this week. It's going to be fun, man. I can't wait. I think all of us are going to be really excited. We're going to be juiced, ready to go. But I couldn't tell you. I've never really done it.
How would you describe this offense, and what's a good performance in this offense for a quarterback?
We're gonna use tempo to our advantage. We're gonna go fast. I think really, in my regard, I think it's just being efficient, trying to distribute that ball, knowing when you should throw it, knowing when you should run it, when you should hand it off, making the right decisions and making them quickly.
You've got a pretty good supporting cast, a lot of weapons on this team.
Definitely.
How potent can this offense be?
I think you guys are going to find out, this Saturday. I think some of those guys on the outside are a little bit underrated, and I'm excited to be able to be kind of that catalyst in this offense, to be able to distribute the ball to those type of guys.
When you called your folks, do you remember the initial reaction from them when you told them?
I was really excited to tell my dad. He's a big part of why I work so hard, and why I wanted to be the starting quarterback. Why I want to succeed, and calling him and being able to tell him that my hard work has paid off to this point was a great feeling. He was really excited for me, and he's coming out to the first game, and he just told me, we know what to do now. We got to win this game. We got to approach it week by week, and the struggle's not over. You got to keep working.
What was the reception from the rest of the team, maybe not just Tristan?
I think it was a good thing. I think they were just waiting to see who to go with. We have a band of brothers. I think whether it would have been me or Tristan, these guys would have been able to rally behind them and support them. And I felt that support.
It's just natural for seniors to think, all right, this guy just came on campus. How do you win people over? How did you do that over the course of the last 6 months, and how do you continue to do that with guys that are 22, 23?
Yeah, I think it's just working hard. I think guys respect a player who puts it all out there on the field. A guy who's going to be full go all the time, whether it's in the weight room, film room, or practice field. I try and demand the most out of my teammates, and they do the same for me, obviously in a respectful manner. But I think when you do that and they see that, they respect you, no matter your age.
You've got a chance to see the defense pretty well. What should fans expect out of this defense?
Yeah, I think we got a pretty scary D-line. Those guys can really get after us. I think our secondary is starting to fly around. Coach Chins draws up some pretty interesting stuff. I think it's going to be fun to watch for the fans.
A year ago, Adrian, how realistic did it seem to you when you were out injured that you could be in a spot like this as one of just a handful of true freshmen in the country to start a season?
Yeah, there was a point where I wasn't sure if I was going to be able to make it to where I was before, make it back to 100%. There was a low, but that didn't last very long. I think always in my mind, I believed I was destined in a sense, to play quarterback and excel. I knew that I'd been working hard and, things were going to turn back around. So there wasn't really a whole lot of doubt in that process. It wasn't easy. There was a time where I could only get my arm this high, and I didn't think I could throw the ball like I can now, but obviously we are where we are now, and I think having faith helped me in that process.
You played through that injury for a while, right? Like in your junior year, and then you played basketball through the injury.
Yeah, probably wasn't the brightest decision, obviously, but basically I'd kind of hurt my shoulder in football season. I thought it was good to go. It wasn't good to go. And I played through the whole basketball season. In the last game, there's a minute left. The coach draws up a play for me, and I go up. Well, actually, I'm going to rewind. I'm not that good at storytelling, I'm sorry. But I get a steal right, and I go up. The guy chops my arm. I dislocate my shoulder. I go over to the training table. The guy's like, hey, you dislocated your shoulder. You probably tore your labrum a little bit more than it already was. I was like, okay, it feels okay. So I go back in the game. There's about 20 seconds left, and the coach draws up a play for me. We're down by 3, I think it's by 2 or 3 points. And so I get the ball and I drive to the hoop and I lay it up off the glass. It's kind of a slow roller, so it goes off the glass, off the rim, and I jump up for the rebound, and my shoulder pops in and out again. And so that was kind of that moment where, man, I can't believe this is happening in a sport that isn't even my main sport. I'm not going to college for this. But it's just hard for me to quit. I couldn't. The game was on the line. I wanted to go in. Kind of a hard decision to live with, but it's worked out. I feel better than I ever have. Right now at this point, I'm really slinging the ball, and I think everything happens for a reason.
How long did it take you to adjust to the speed of the game, Division I college football compared to high school?
Definitely. I couldn't really tell you, but at a certain point, I think it clicked for me, and I think there's going to be that process during the season as well. Things are going to get easier for me as the season goes along. I believe in that.
Everybody, two more for Atkins being a leader. You touched on a little bit about what Sam asked you about working hard and earning respect from your peers. Do you think it will be difficult to lead these guys, the seniors, the juniors, and being who you are as just a true freshman, or does that come naturally as a rah-rah guy?
Yeah, I don't really believe in rah-rah guys necessarily, but I don't believe in silent leaders either. You have to kind of be that medium in between. And I don't think it's tough because we have a great group of guys. And we have natural leaders on the O-line. We have natural leaders in the receiver room. It's my job to, set the example, be full go all the time. And it's not just my job. It's not just my responsibility. And I think the guys on this team understand that. So I don't think it'll be difficult. I think when we shoulder that burden as a group, it works out.
After this press conference, I think a lot of people are going to remark on your maturity for somebody who's just a freshman in college and is secondly in classes. Where'd you get that from? Where did you get that poise and composure to sit in front of all of us and answer these questions?
It's tough to say, honestly. I think I have to draw back to my family, my roots, and some of the things I've been through. It hasn't been an easy journey for me, and I think through that experience has kind of led me to where I'm at now with my perspective that I have. But really, I got to give credit to my dad and my stepmom, and the way I was raised. Yeah.
Adrian, what are your thoughts about Akron, the season opener? What do you know about them? What about that matchup?
Yeah. First question about Akron. I'm excited. I'm fired up about the way our offense is looking. Obviously, this is the week that we're scouting them. I think we have a good matchup. It's going to be a good game. We just got to show up.
Thanks, Adrian.
Yeah.